What's up, guys? What I want to talk about today is how you can increase the number of listings that you get on eBay every single day. How can you get more listings on eBay? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Phil, the king of thrift. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time on my channel and you're trying to learn to work from home, being your own boss by buying and reselling on eBay, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon right next to it so you don't miss anything. Now, with that out of the way, guys, let's get into the topic today. How can you get more listings on every single day? How can you basically make more money on eBay? Now, if you learn this principle that I'm about to lay out for you guys and you apply it in your daily business life, then you're going to reap huge benefits in the way of dollars and cents. And if you don't, then you're probably going to continue to struggle. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Pareto Principle. The Pareto Principle was actually discovered by Pareto. It wasn't actually something that he invented himself, but it was discovered by Pareto. And it's basically the vital few versus the trivial many. But basically Pareto, he discovered that approximately 20% of the population owned 80% of the land in Italy. Essentially being that, 20% of the population controlled 80% of the population's money. He also noticed that 20% of his pea pods in his garden were actually responsible for 80% of the peas of the total harvest. Now, if you want to get more listings on eBay, then you need to apply this principle to your business model. And it's basically the 80-20 rule, it's also known as. This is a principle that was found back in some 1896, I believe it was, but it's still very relevant is just as relevant today as it was back then. And just for an example for you guys, 20% of the salesmen for any given company are responsible for 80% of the profits for that company, for 80% of the sales. The other 80% of the salesmen are responsible for only 20% of the total sales of that company. That's how the principle applies into the real world. And actually, this is a universal law. It applies in everything around us. But how can you apply this in your business? That's the main thing, guys. How can you use this in your eBay business to make more money, to get more listings on? Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, there are only there are many activities in this reselling game and buying and selling and being a reseller. There are many activities that come along with it as far as things that you must do to keep the business alive. And I mean, you've got emails and you've got sourcing and you've got packaging and shipping and listing and inventory management and customer service and doing the actual listings themselves. And then there's the cleaning of the items and if there's steaming or dry cleaning and washing. I mean, the list goes on, guys. I mean, but the thing is, out of all those things, only a couple of things are the vital few. The vital few in this business is going to be listings and sourcing. So in other words, if you're not listing and if you're not sourcing, then you're not making money. So you want to try to focus on, that's going to be the vital few in this business. But that doesn't mean that you want to ignore customer service. You want to, ignore your inventory management, that you want to ignore, the cleanliness of your office, so to speak. I mean, because all these things come into play and you do need to handle and take care of your business every single day from day to day. But if you can focus on the vital few versus the trivial many, then that will allow you to increase your dollar amount that you're earning from day to day. So when you get to work tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I want you to come in with your pad and pencil or your pen and write down every single thing that you do in business that day, each task and how long it takes you to do each thing. And at the end of the day, go through and next to each task, I want you to put a number between 1 and 3. Number 1 means that thing is very important and it's urgent. Number 2 means that thing is important but not urgent. And number 3 means that it's not important nor urgent. And that is going to give you an idea as far as the high impact activities that you're doing from day to day. And if you will basically go through and chart your progress and write down each thing that you're doing from day to day, then this will give you sort of a roadmap to follow. In other words, the things that are most important, the vital few, we're all going to be 1s, obviously, and then followed by 2s and then 3s. And you can basically eliminate 3s. Now, the goal here is to be doing things that are important and not pressing. In other words, they're not urgent, but they are important. In the beginning, you're going to spend most of your time doing things that are important and urgent until you get to a place until you're doing things that are important but not urgent, because that's where you need to be. Because if you're just constantly doing things that are important and urgent, then you are constantly under the gun and you're doing what you have to based on the urgency of any given situation versus doing things that are important but are not urgent. Because when you start to do things that are important but they're not urgent, that's when you really start moving ahead. That's when you really start gaining some ground and moving forward in this game. So focus on the vital few, and remember that 8 out of 10 things that you do, guys, are trivial. They're trivial, they're meaningless, and they're not important. There's only 2 out of 10 things that you're doing on a daily basis. Out of every 10 things you're doing, only 2 of those things are really making an impact, are really high impact, and really making a difference in your life. Everything else is just taking your time and sucking your energy and time away from you, away from things that are important. So if you can apply this principle and learn to focus only on things that are important, then you're going to see your business increase by leaps and bounds. You're going to see that bottom line go up and up, guys. I can promise you that. If this video has been helpful to you, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you're looking to learn to work from home and be your own boss by reselling on eBay, then go ahead and subscribe. One last thing, make sure you go down in the description section of this video and download your free copy of how to buy and sell, how to resell shoes on eBay. And in that guide, I've also included the top 25 men's brand name shoes to sell on eBay. And you can download that, guys. It's absolutely free. So thanks for tuning in for another video, and until my next one, you guys be good. Get out there and crush it on eBay and make that money.